Greetings, YouTube Nation. So, this is the second video on this channel where I'm going to open up another box. This purchase came from someone that I know in one of the Facebook buy-sell groups, and the fellow resides in Sacramento, California, and I've bought a lot of stuff from him. His prices are very reasonable, but what I bought from him I didn't expect to come in such a huge box. So let's spare the repartee and let's get to the unboxing. So what we have here is a Mantua 462 Pacific in Baltimore and Ohio livery in its original box. Now, I have several Mantua Tyco steam locomotives, mostly 462s. Mostly 282s, a couple of 462s, and then when I saw this listing on Facebook, I had to have it. Because she is gorgeous. I did see one like this at the York show, but she was kind of damaged, so I passed that one up. But I had been somewhat on the prowl for B&O, and when this came available, I pounced. And what's more, this is the first Mantua steam locomotive in my collection that actually came with its box. Everything else was just all loosey-goosey. So, and what drew me also to the listing, what also drew me to the locomotive was in the listing it said, runs rough. So, I'm no stranger to servicing Mantua steam locomotives, and when the listing said, runs rough, I gotta service her to get her running proper. So, I'm gonna put her on the test track and see how she is. Be right back. Alright, so I've got her on the test track. Power pack is on in the forward position. So we're gonna go forward. Nothing. Holy cow. Don't be shy for the audience. Oh wow. She is I have her at full power and she's crawling. Let's go reverse. I think we've woken her up. Alright, so it looks like it's been explained to him. Just by seeing this, I can understand why it was listed as a rough runner. Because even in reverse, she's hesitating, even though the piston rods appear to be in quarter. There's something on the inside that is just in need of attention. Wow, look at this. All right. And this is at 100% throttle. Let's get to work. Right, so before I begin, I have the locomotive in the cradle. If you don't have a test track and you have the leads to a power pack available, of course this is the negative because I colored it black, and this is the positive. The locomotive, these Mantua Tychos, these Mantua locomotives, the screw over here, this wire over here is always connected to the negative lead of the motor inside the boiler section of the engine. The positive is right over here with this copper strip right over here. I'm just going to give it one other test before we crack her open. So I have the negative on the tender and put the positive over here, and I still have nothing. How do you like that? Unless if I put it up to full. Now, you shouldn't have to put it all the way up to 11 to get these things to run. They should run at a lower setting, like at say 40%, and you got nothing. So something definitely is amiss. Try 60, nothing. So let's get inside. All Mantua Tycho locomotives that I dealt with, they are all built the same, which means cracking her open and then putting her back together is also the same. 2 screws on either side of the cab and 1 screw at the very top in the smokestack. So first things first, I'm going to disconnect the tender. right over there. Put you over here. Put you over there. So now we can work with the locomotive itself, with the boiler section itself. And given the tightness of these screws, this must have never been cracked open. That is curious. Okay. All right, so we have our basic Pitman motor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. One, 2, 3, 4. Yep, she's a 5-pole. And I can already see that the worm gear do I have to move this closer or do I have to move this further away? So the worm gear is a horrible mess. It's filthy dirty, no lubrication. Wonder what condition let's tamper with that. What condition the commutator is in. Commutator is a little filthy. So we're going to clean these brushes. And while I'm here, I'm going to take care of the oxidation that is in between each plate of the commutator. Filthy dirty. That takes care of that. Now, I'm going to put this brush back on, but I'm not going to clean the commutator just yet. And that is because I'm going to clean this other brush. And when I'm taking care of that brush, then I'll clean the commutator. And going to reinsert the brush. And we're golden. And now I am going to turn her around. While I have this brush off, I'm going to clean the commutator. I'm going to take Old Faithful. All right. Look at that. Look at that oxidation. Years of heaven knows what. And now I'm going to pray to God that get this clip back in. Like, oh, you guys, it's always something. All right, so we got everything back together. The light doesn't appear to work, which may or may not matter to me because they are pretty tricky, and it is also difficult to fit an LED bulb in there. I tried, didn't work with a past project, but I have the negative clip over here, and I have the positive clip over here, and at 40% power, we got ourselves a running locomotive. Without any struggle. I'm going to put it to 60. And we still got us a cooperating locomotive. So this is very good. I've also lubricated the gears and the motor behind the commutator and in front of the windings. So we are pretty good. My next step will be to put everything back together and then take care of the wheels. So we'll be right back. All right, one other thing before I really do a full test. I should check to see what's going on underneath here. So it's these 4 screws right over here. So I'm just going to polish that up. Now, I didn't undo this screw because this screw holds the motor in place. So I'm just going to put this bad boy back in its place. Alright, let's see if I didn't screw anything up. Well, she's running. Alright, I'm going to clean up the tender, the wheels of the tender, and then we'll put her back on the track. Back in a bit. Alright, so I've got her on the endurance track. I got everything on, ready to go, and here goes hopefully something. And we are off to the races. Going at 55 miles an hour. Well, 55% throttle rather. She's on the move. And current draw isn't half bad. Voltage, of course, is near 12, which is to be expected with these things. I'm going to increase her throttle because Lord knows how long it's been since she's been run. And we gotta... Oh, rats. What did you do now? Well, after tearing this thing open again, turns out there was an issue with the brushes and how they were connected to the motor, and let alone the wiring. So I changed the wiring orientation between the motor and the tender, and we're off to a flying start. Not too happy with the current drawer. I mean, the current drawer is okay, but with the voltage and the throttle setting, could be a little better. But if memory serves, when Mantua was on the downward spiral, they rolled out these locomotives, and they were kind of rotten apples. I'll have to look into that. But we got us a runner. So I'm just gonna let this thing run a little while longer. Yeah, it sounds a little funny. Trying to play with the because I almost replaced the motor, but I had no replacement motor that would fit it. So I put the gear back on. That connects with the piston wheels, with the driving wheels. So even though we got us a little buzzing sound, she is off to the races. So I'm just gonna let her run for a little while longer on her own, and then we'll hook her up to something. Well, she seems to be pulling pretty well. I do have her at a high throttle setting. And these passenger cars have to be wooden passenger cars. I got them as part of an estate sale about 2 years ago. I had a great deal of hassle trying to put them back together because they were falling apart, but they are behaving themselves. And I did mount new couplers on them. I'm going to think about lashing up 2 other wooden passenger cars, even though they're not B&O, but we're good for now. But let's see. Sit tight. Well, despite all the trials and errors and retrials and constant negotiations, I'm still a happy camper. And with that being said, I want to thank all of my subscribers for their continued support. If you're not a subscriber, there is a link at the bottom right-hand corner. Please remember to like and share. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.